What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Pioneer Guy 714. Welcome back to another tool review. Today we will be taking a look at one of the most interesting tools I have ever come across. It's the Spyder Diamond Grit cutoff wheel. Like it's similar to a normal cutoff wheel, except it's not abrasive, and they cost like 3 to 5 times as much as a regular cutoff wheel does. I mean, now as far as this tool goes, I mean, I've used it for a few things, but I've never really put it to the test on hardcore. But I have another one. Like, I got these in a 2-pack from Lowe's on one of their deals. Like, it was a very good deal. It was like 2 for $15. I wouldn't normally have bought this, but I wanted to see how it works. I mean, I like it. I mean, it's a nice tool from my experience, but I really want to put it to the test. So I have a bunch of tests we'll be doing today. So right now, we're going to see how well it cuts through, some conventional metal, like, some tri-pole and a landscaping spike and some pipe. Then we're going to see how well it cuts through masonry, like a brick, some cinder. And finally, we're going to really put it to the test and see how well it can cut through this old brake pad. So, yeah, it's gonna take a while, so let's get started, shall we? All right, we got this metal on here. It's roughly an inch. It's roughly an inch long and about maybe 5 millimeters thick. So, yeah, I mean, and these wheels claim they last 100 times longer than conventional cutoff wheels. So we'll test that once and for all. So, ready? Let's get this going. Cut all right. Let's see how hot the metal is. The metal actually left behind little to no heat, and it's a little bit hot, but it's not nearly as hot as a regular abrasive wheel. It left a somewhat rough cut, so yeah, let's see how well it handles the landscape spike. All right, now on to the landscaping spike. Cut pretty well. I mean, left somewhat of a rough cut again, but as you guys can see, yeah, hold on a second. It left somewhat of a rough cut on it, so I don't know if you guys can see in this light, but yeah, my apologies, but it's okay. Hey, let's see how well it handles the piping, or if it can handle the piping. All right, let's see how well she handles the pipe. Just so you know, I have to put the gloves on and, do all that, so it takes a while for me to get the test going, but all right, ready? She's binding, I see. Yeah, it's cutting through it all right, but it's binding in the process. I'm gonna keep trying to see if we can cut around it and finish the cut. If not, if it gets too dangerous, I'll stop the test. Yeah, it's unable to cut all the way through the pipe. That's just simply because of the diameter of the wheel, I believe. And the way it was, I don't know, but as you guys can see, it also left a pretty messed up cut. There's quite a bit of tear out. These are the old cuts from a past experiment, but yeah, I mean, it didn't really do too good on that, but do not fret. There's still some more tests we can do, so bear with me, all right? All right, I'm gonna give it another chance. I flipped it over and I let it cool down a little bit, and I also reinforced this. So we're gonna try and give it another chance because it actually went almost all the way through. So let's see if she can finish the job on the other end. Yeah, it keeps binding up. We're going to try this one more time, and then we're going to call it a test for this one. It almost went through, but able to pull it off right like that. So I'd say this test is pretty much a bust. Like, it left a terrible cut, and it's partially my fault, I suppose, on that. So, but anyway, we'll move on to the next test. All right, guys, we're moving into the masonry portion here. I got a piece of brick, and we're gonna see how well it cuts through bricks, because it's not big enough to cut through the entire brick, so we'll just use a little piece. So yeah, let's see how well it cuts through. Wow, that actually cut good. Wow. Whew. Yeah, that actually cut relatively smooth. I mean, right here is a piece of it. It left a pretty clean cut. Or, like, I'll just say right here, it left a pretty clean cut on this masonry, so it lives up to its design so far. So let's see sorry, I'm trying to pause it. All right, so the next test we have this old piece of cinder block. Like, I didn't really find a way to secure this, but we'll see how well it can cut through it. So, all right, this is something I should never do, but this is for demonstrational purposes. So, ready? It grinded away at that brick pretty good. I mean, because keep in mind this is very thick. Now, so a 7-inch angle grinder could get this, but it worked pretty good. I mean, it cut pretty nice. So yeah, it works on that. But let's see how well she handles the final test. This brake pad. This brake pad came off of an old truck from my neighbor, and he let me have this because I had a project involving this metal. So let's see how well it works. Oh, real quickly, guys, before this video ends, whoever can guess the make of truck, or the brand of truck that this brake pad came off of, whoever can guess it in the comments will win a shout out in the next video. So, here are the options. I'll leave them in the description too. A, Chevy. B, Toyota. C, Nissan. D, Ford. or E, Ram? Which of these 5 trucks did it come off of? Whoever can answer that right, will get a shout out, and if no one gets it, I'll reveal it in the next video, all right? So anyway, let's get to the final test. All right, guys, it's showtime. This brake pad has some clay and stone built serrated on it, so that's why I put this at the end, because it's masonry and metal technically. So, ready? Ooh. Got it. Whew. It actually cut. And also, oh, yeah, here we go. Well, it almost went through. This part came down, but yeah, it cut pretty through. I mean, still, it left a very messy cut on it, and this wood is actually, it's hot. My bad, but yeah, I mean, it's over. So yeah, we'll give it a good rating afterwards. Well, that was actually a very good run. We were able to cut through some steel, pull a landscaping spike. Oh, real quick, we'll do an analysis on them. I mean, the steel, it had a pretty good cut. It had a pretty clean cut. Now, this landscaping spike, it had a pretty messy cut. This had a very messy cut. We had a fun time trying to cut this, so I would definitely not recommend this tool for any kind of heavy work like this. But it left a smooth finish on the brick. It was able to cut through pretty good. The cinder block, it had some pretty good cuts on this part. And the brake pad took a while to get going, but it was able to pull through. This is a really, really, really hard steel. I mean, these brake pads are pretty hard, so I'd say it did a good job. It was able to cut through this brake pad like it was nothing at all. After, not at first, but it was able to cut through it. It was able to cut it, I wouldn't say, I take that back. Not like nothing at all, but it was able to cut through it easily, like relatively good. Once I got the grinder going and once I got a firm grip, because I'm new to angle grinders, believe me. Yeah, I had a casualty with one. Near casualty. Yeah, right here I was using one and it nearly went right that because the cutoff wheel nearly broke. But yeah, it's a great wheel. I mean, it's expensive. I think it's great for masonry, but for metal cutting, I'd stick to something like a regular abrasive wheel or a Lennox Metal Max wheel or a Diablo, something like that. I mean, let me know if you guys want me to review those too. And we'll throw in some different tests and maybe use the same brake pad. So yeah, overall, it's a very good wheel, did a very good job. And once again, this is Pioneer Guy 714 saying good day or good night, and good luck.